Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Frederick Jones, founder of My Footprint Entertainment and publisher of Saturday AM, Saturday Plus, Afternoon WebEx, and a few other lines. We are getting ready to start the meeting this evening. It's the State of the Webcomic Union or something of that nature. Just was trying to find a witty title. Really, it's just to catch up. I know there have been so many things going on with our group, and many of you guys between our fan base and our community of amateur creators, I know have had various questions. So we want to make sure that we were in a position to answer those questions for you guys. So, so definitely wanted to have this meeting to do that, and hope all is well. So we will, get ready and go into this meeting. But the main thing is I just wanted to touch base with everybody, make sure that everyone could have a chance to chat and, ask questions. And so I'm going to just do a couple of quick things here real quickly, just in terms of letting people know that we are active. So just hold on one moment and I'll get that conversation out and we will get started here. So if you are looking to participate this evening, we will be doing that very shortly. I just want to get the word out to our fan base between Twitter, Facebook, and our private Facebook group. All right, just bear with me one moment and we'll get going very soon. All right, everybody. Well, we are back. We're going to get started. As I indicated a few minutes ago, again, my name is Frederick Jones, and I am the founder of My Footprint Entertainment LLC, and I'm also the publisher for our various lines, which, of course, is Saturday AM, the great-looking website you see here today, as well as Saturday Plus, which you see right here, and Afternoon WebEx, which you see right here. So these are the three publications we have currently. We will be producing more as time goes on, but we are a small startup. We started back in 2013, late 2013. I actually started the company and some of the larger pieces of it a few years before that. And but we've worked very hard to build a very strong fan base around the world, whether it's Venezuela or Chile or Romania, Hungary, all the way into parts of Asia, from Indonesia, Malaysia, and so on. We've been very successful in being able to introduce a new idea to both webcomics as well as manga, and that's why we refer to what we produce as manga webcomics, because we've really tried to radically change both of those in our own way. Not radically change them in terms of reinventing the systems, but changing them in the sense of making them appeal to us. And it turns out that we've been very happy that many of you have embraced that. So we're very proud of the work that we do. We're really proud of our fan base. We're proud of the creative community that we've established. We have a long way to go, but as we embark on our second full year of publication history, we just continue to be amazed at the outpouring of support that we receive. So I wanted to do this State of the Webcomic Union to talk about some of the things that we have going on, because we have so many initiatives now, despite how small we are. I want to talk about our volunteer staff program that we're going to be launching. I want to talk about Pilot Manga, which is our huge artistic community. Talk about Test Flight, which is our competition that we produce once a month. And then talk about our publications, Saturday AM, Saturday Plus, and Afternoon WebEx, as we have now embarked on a new publication round for those series and what that means in terms of your ability to interact with them and things of that nature. So as always, I'm very open, and this is meant to be very open, so you can contact us with any questions you have. If you are a member of our Facebook fan page, you can do so via www.facebook.com/SaturdayAM. If you are a member of our private group, which is our Pilot Manga Submissions group, you will need to be a member of that. But certainly in either case, you can post a comment right there within that, and I will see that comment at some point. Likewise, if you're using Google Chrome at all, you can participate in the you can participate with, there's an application they have embedded within the Hangout chat client, which is basically just a chat. It's just a basic text chat, and you can type messages in there, and I'll see them in real time. Again, as you can see, I'm showing the screen here for SaturdayAM.com. So our fantastic looking website is designed by Wally Wynn. So this will be the majority of what you guys see, so that you're not just looking at my face or looking at a black screen mostly with our logo. I did want to take a moment to showcase this fact. Now, Mikhail Dingle is no longer in our group, but I do want to showcase the fact that we are a diverse group, and we're committed to our diversity. So when you have myself and Adunze Gogo, who is white manga, Raymond Brown, Wally Wynn, we're the principals of Saturday AM, of My Footprint, that is, followed by Andrea Voros, who is one of the most important members of our group, and certainly we take her, we feel that she is as important in the group as any of us. You see that we are a diverse group across ethnicities, nationalities, and gender. So we are really proud of that. But this is just our core team. Once you expand it out and we look at the creators who make up Afternoon WebEx, the creators that we have touched and who now follow us in our Pilot Manga community and or who are producing content for us as part of our Saturday Plus anthology, you realize that our objective of having a diverse body of creative talent is so incredibly large that it just, there's not, in terms of our size on a relative basis, there just really is no one that I can think of who really matches what we're producing. And certainly I would challenge the idea that people match us in terms of the quality of what we produce matched with our level of diversity. I know that, you know, I've heard that there's some people who feel like we try too hard, that we're too black. And, you know, I think the criticisms that we get, I have yet to hear a serious criticism, and that's unfortunate. You know, I think it's wonderful that we have so many people of color in our group. I'm never going to be ashamed of having strong people of color, Latino, African American, different parts of Asia that traditionally are not considered when talking about manga and webcomics. I'm proud of that. I don't see anything wrong with that. Anyone who does doesn't need to be our fan. And then the notion that we try too hard, well, as I just said, I think we produce, I've been in this business for a very long time, and I feel pretty confident I've earned the right to say what is quality content and what's not. And we produce quality content. And so I don't feel any remorse. I don't feel at all bashful of saying that we have fantastic quality content. And then I'm hard pressed to think of a group, formalized group as we are, who produces the level of content that we do, at the quality level that we do, with the level of diversity that we have. I don't know who that is. And I'm talking companies as big as Marvel and DC. In terms of the relative size of our company, if you compare that relative to everyone else, I don't know who that is. But I'm damn proud that we are doing what we do, and that so many of you are appreciating that and supporting us along the way. So again, this is a state of the webcomic union. Every question here is relevant. If you have a question as it relates to our company, as it relates to our business model, as it relates to our merchandise plans, you know, you name it, I'll certainly answer it as best I can. Certainly strategic information I won't go into. But that's it. That's everything I want to say. Just real quickly, if you aren't familiar with our lines, let me just say this real quickly. Saturday AM is a digital manga magazine publication. So we value our content, plain and simple. We value our content. So you can buy our individual issues, as you can see here, for just $1.99. One of the best deals in comics, because if, you know, at our low end, we're about 40 pages an issue. At our high end, we're close to, if not over 100 pages. For $1.99, there's no comic book that I know of that really hits that level. Certainly Shonen Jump is probably the best value you can get for your money at 99 cents, nearly 200 pages, but on a digital context. But short of that, Image, Marvel, DC, I mean, these guys charge $3, $4 for their digital comics. And they have around 20 pages, maybe 24, 25 pages. We feel like we have the best deal in comics, and we know we have the best deal in comics when you can subscribe for just $5. Our subscriptions start at $5, meaning that you get 20 issues a year. And we proved this last year. There was no issues. There was no concept, no concerns. No concerns regarding our ability to hit it. We had 20 issues and over for our subscribers of original manga webcomic action, including our top series like Apple Black and Bully Eater, Saigami, Comatose, and so on. 20 issues, over 20 issues for just $5. Again, it starts at $5. We've got a premium package we'll talk about tonight, but this is one of the key aspects of what we do, is taking webcomic material and telling people, expressing ourselves in a way that says our content is worth value. It does have value. It's not just free. And so we're really proud that so many people have embraced that by subscribing. Again, it's the best deal in comics. So, to me, it's a no-brainer. $5, 20 issues, whether it varies between 40 or over 100 pages, that's a value that very few other companies, big companies, can even muster. But beyond that, we also have, as we indicated before, we have Saturday Plus. That is a sister publication of Saturday AM. It consists of original manga properties from creators who are completely brand new to the manga process. You see that whereas Saturday AM downloads directly to your email box, that you can store on your drive, this is actually warehoused on our website. You go to it, you're able to flip through the magazine. You can see here just how strongly our content design is. But we take very seriously what we have here. We've produced to date 3 issues, and our 4th issue is due the next day or two. And you can see again here the quality of the content. This is big time stuff, and these are amateur creators. These are not even amateur creators with the experience level of Saturday AM. These are original creators that we discovered who are producing original concepts in the My Footprint and Saturday AM fashion, meaning they're character focused, they're action packed, they're fun, they're original. There's no Naruto or Dragon Ball Z ripoffs with any of our stuff. This is 100% original, cool ideas, and we're confident you'll enjoy it. And this is free. If you subscribe to the premium level, though, you do get Saturday Plus as a download. You do get Saturday Plus ahead of time versus when everyone else gets to read it for free on our website, and you get some other extras. So when you consider that we produce 20 issues of Saturday Plus, another 20 issues of Saturday AM, and then we have other goodies that you can participate in, that is worth more than the $5. And we're very proud that we now have a premium subscription for our fans. The last thing I just want to show you is that we are debuting this week, Afternoon WebX. Afternoon WebX is our webcomic specific line. Again, it follows the My Footprint model, meaning that it has original characters, original stories, exclusive. You can't find these properties in terms of original new content anywhere else on the web. The concepts are completely unique to each other, completely unique to Saturday AM and Saturday Plus, and more importantly, they're free and they update daily. So we took a very unique approach to webcomics in the sense that, we said, we're going to treat it kind of like a TV network. And so, on Mondays, you're going to get Omniconscience from Wally Wynn. And on Tuesdays, you're going to get our brand new series, Z Forever. Fridays, you'll get Spoon by David Yoon. And as you see here, you just click it, you go right into the website, right into the comic, and there you go. Beautiful, big graphics, completely fun, awesome storytelling. You can't beat it. It's fantastic stuff, and we're really proud of the work of the creators who are engaged with us in this. It's big stuff. Really, really proud of it. So that is pretty much everything that we Afternoon WebX, Saturday AM. Don't know again who we are. If you've not heard of us, this is your chance to learn a little bit about us and see exactly what we're about and why we're so aggressive approach to things. We think that we're trying to do something really unique and fun for creators, something that can help pave a different path for webcomics. And we want to make sure that we, at every chance, get the word out to people about the work that our guys and that our team is producing. We're very proud of it, and we think it deserves to be screamed. It deserves to be aggressive. So with all that being said, again, there's so many questions, so many things we do want to talk about. So first things first, I'm going to just check, see if there have been any comments and questions via Facebook, and then we will move on to check the chat window, and then we'll move on to discuss the first thing, which is our volunteer program that we're launching very soon. So when we look at, let's see here. So I know that there appears to be a couple of questions here on Facebook, and so some of these may be out of order in terms of what we're going to talk about, but I'll be happy to address them. Let's see. Muhammad Lowe is so Muhammad Lowe asked the question, and it looks like it was answered by Jeremiah Lee, but asked the question regarding how do you submit your manga to Saturday AM. So let me say that, again, we are our original manga publication. Our anthologies are similar to anthologies in the Japanese market. They just have more diverse creators and more diverse concepts. But in regards to how we operate, this is very similar. I mean, we're not set up to do blank submissions from people, even though we do get them every single day. But our focus is really on a group that we created called Pilot Manga, which you can discover on our website. Just simply go to this very last tab here you see called Pilot Manga. You click it, and it is a community. Built right now, it currently has over 300 members, and these are creative individuals from around the world of different genders and nationalities, and people basically work in the group to improve their skills. They communicate about tactics and techniques and equipment that they use and styles and how to develop your style and ways to come up with presentation value for your comic book and all sorts of really cool things. It's a group that we started for two reasons. One, to try to bring more awareness to the webcomic amateur space, and then likewise for us to be able to manage discovering new content in a way that was appropriate for our size, because we're just not big enough to address every single creator who sends something in. That being said, what we've discovered is that we created a group that really fills a niche in terms of people's ability to talk honestly about the notion of creativity. And so we've had some really great philosophical discussions in the group regarding, you know, what is inspiration, and how do you pitch something, and you know, power sets and all sorts of things since we launched this program in July. Every month we have a contest called Test Flights, and the rules change every single month. And you know, in that context, you're able to submit a manga based on the rules that we have. So, you know, you're not allowed to just send us, you know, you've been working on your own 30-page manga, you just want to send it to us. You know, we're not going to accept that. But, you know, if you're willing to join the group, participate, and then follow the rules for the submissions that we're asking for, then we absolutely, not only do we look at it, not only do we potentially select it for publication, but we go through extensive critiques for everybody who enters, everybody who follows the rules and enters appropriately. We, you know, produce a nice, I think, fun, if not technically beautiful, certainly not beautiful, but we produce a video series that's starting to get some really good views, and people really like it. But we give some really honest, direct feedback, and I must say that that I've been really pleasantly surprised that so many people who are not even in pilot manga have written me to just say that they really like it. They like the commentary. They like the time that we take looking at people's work. And so, again, it's just one of the things I'm proud of with this. But if you are someone who wants to create comics, I really hope that you check out pilot manga. And again, if you're someone who wants to create a manga to us, again, remove the notion that you're just going to send us your 30-page comic book because of how brilliant you think it is. And it very well might be. You know, I think the way that we try to do it is the most economical for both your time and ours. Because I can assure you, if you just send a 30-page comic strip to Marvel, you know, you got to, first of all, cross fingers that someone even sees it. But, you know, with us, you know, we're guaranteed to see it. But if you follow the rules with our test flights, then you're guaranteed to actually get a really legitimate response, more than just a, hey, keep trying, kid, type of thing that was so common when I was a young person. So the pilot manga to Muhammad is really the way that you try to enter if you're interested in getting your manga looked at by us. That's the best way to do it. One other thing I'll say in that regard, as Muhammad had asked that question, is you know, look, I mean, you know, we get questions all the time about this in regards to, you know, well, I'm not in Facebook, or, you know, or you know, I really think you guys would love to check out my thing. How do you guys check it out? I think, you know, for me, I think the answer I would say is that, you know, look, we always look at your manga if it's on a competing website, and competing websites for us are things like Smack Jeeves or Tapastic and so on and so forth. Of course we look at your content on those sites. And my thing to you, and I want to say this again, I say it all the time, but I want to say it very clearly, is, you know, if you are determined to be a creator, do not wait for us. There is nothing to be gained by waiting for us. If you've got that burning desire to do it, then do it. Go use those services and post your comic. And I guarantee you that at some point we will see it. And if we like it, we'll contact you. If we, you know, are not sure about it, then more likely we won't. The only way to guarantee you get a comment from us is to enter the test flight. But, you know, if you believe in what you're doing and you're hungry to get your idea out there, don't wait for us. There's literally no reason to wait for us. We do not have the traffic that Tapastic and Smack Jeeves and these guys have. We're not as big as they are. We're also not as old as they are. And our focus in terms of what we produce is very different from them. But by no means should you wait for us. So if the question is, you know, how do I get you guys to check out my work? The short answer is produce the work. display it, and we'll see it. I can't say when we'll see it. I can't tell you if we respond, but that's the surest way, is just to do it. And then things will come to you regardless of what you're, of what our process is. Things will come to you, whether it's us noticing you or someone else noticing you, or fans noticing you, you creating fans for yourself. Only good things can come from you putting your work out there. That's the bottom line. So we have a couple more questions, and so let me get to those, and then I unfortunately have not been checking the chat window, so I will do that now in the chat, although I don't know if there's anything there. So let me see if there's anything there in the chat window. There's not, so then nothing to worry about there. But in terms of questions, we do have some more questions on Facebook, our Pilot Manga group. Let's see. Tiana Conyers asked if Saturday AM is going to restart their Kickstarter for Saturday Wars again sometime this year. So I probably shouldn't have read that question, because I was going to talk about Saturday Wars, and I'd rather talk about it when the time is ready. So let me just say that I will address that. We've actually talked about it all before, but I will address that. So if there are no other questions, why don't we, instead of discussing those things, why don't we jump into the first thing that I did want to talk about in this, which was in relationship to volunteers. So we are growing very rapidly, and I've talked about this. We're growing. We have now, this year, we'll be producing over 40 issues of anthology comics between Saturday AM and Saturday Plus. Over 40. That is a lot. I had a conversation with the webcomic creator of the day who just, I was not happy with their suggestion of professionalism. I'm too old. I've been doing this for too long for someone that young to talk to me about professionalism. But the thing that really caught me was aside from the naivete, is the notion that, we produced over 20 issues, nearly 2,000 pages of content last year, just with Saturday AM. That's not counting the stuff that we did with Afternoon WebX. You are hard pressed to find that type of dedicated, purposeful content creation anywhere on the web. And that includes any of the other websites you can post your comic to. That's just, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not appreciated evidently, but that is a significant amount of work to do. And again, I don't think I'm betraying anything to say that, the creators behind Saturday AM, Afternoon WebX, Saturday Plus certainly are not, making the sort of money from these endeavors at this point that they can not have to worry about, the bills that most people have to worry about, like, rent or mortgage or car note or childcare. So the fact that we, despite the typical webcomic refrain of, well, I'm going to take a vacation, or I got into a relationship, or I'm changing websites or whatever, the fact that we were able to maintain a very organized production slate and produce it and meet the objectives with it and meet it on time and produce it at the highest quality level that we did, I think that is pretty damn significant. And so again, I know it's the web. I know young people sometimes don't understand the reality of business and professionalism and things of that nature, but I do find that amazing. And but again, I find a lot of conversations I have sometimes with people amazing. But let me say, the reason I bring it up is to say that, one thing I will certainly talk about is the fact that that this year despite what we did last year, we are doubling what we do this year. We have more content that'll be coming in the Afternoon WebX, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We have a larger production count of Saturday AM and Saturday Plus, meaning we're going to be producing more comics within those magazines, and we're going to be producing more issues of those magazines in terms of total number of magazines we produce. So when you look at all that, certainly we need help. We need to grow in other areas besides just art. And the volunteer program is really meant to bring one simple notion to the people who write us and say that they really like what we're doing and they're really proud of the stuff that we're doing. It's really meant to address one key thing, and that is that I started this company and started these magazines with the notion of giving the focus, the spotlight, to the creative endeavors of people who normally we're not being given that chance, whether that's just because people have a natural prejudice towards webcomic creators, which certainly exists in the entertainment industry, or it was based on people not believing that people from certain parts of the world could create manga or create comic books, or if it was just the lack of diversity in terms of ethnicity and gender. I started the company specifically to address those things by going to individuals that I knew had the talent and who represented the diversity in terms of their being, where they were from, what they were about, things of that nature. And we've proven that people do embrace that. We've proven that. I didn't think it needed to be proven, but we proved it. But what we've done as well is open a doorway, and we intend to kick that door wide open. But we've opened that door, we've creaked it open, so that people around the world now recognize that there is another way to become this manga creator that they want to become a professional comic creator. There's another way to do it. And we're trying to prove that concept out with the work that we're doing. In doing that, we realize that not just is there a path to become a comic creator, but there's a path to become a comic industry employee. So, the things that don't really get talked about are website maintenance, design, managing creative talent, social media. These are things that also have tremendous blinders from the powers that be when it comes to people of color, when it comes to people of different nationalities, when it comes to people of different genders. Trust me, there is a gap in companies like Twitter and Google and Facebook. This is not news. This is news. I mean, this is already known that they do not have the best percentage of people of color, that they don't have the best percentage of women. And I can assure you, with the friends I have, that I know plenty of intelligent, very well educated, and savvy, ambitious individuals of color, of different genders, of different sexual orientations, of different nationalities that would thrive at a Facebook, thrive at a Twitter, thrive at Square, thrive at all these companies that for some reason have a certain look, and that's what they have. Now, we can say it's not specific, and I certainly know some people who work for those companies, so I know for a fact that they don't walk around having any sort of these racial or gender biases, but you can't argue with the reality. Whether they're just being skipped over, whether they're just being not looked at, whether they're not realizing they've got a chance to apply for those jobs. The point is that there's a gap. And when I thought about with my footprint, how we were trying to address that gap in the creative side of things, it dawned on me that we have every opportunity to address that gap in truly profound ways in the executive side of the comic book industry. So we're kicking off our volunteer program. We've actually already started, and we are looking for talent. And we're looking for talent in 6 key places, and I'd like to address those places right now. And of course, if you have questions, you can feel free to bring those questions to my attention. Number 1 is blogger. Very self-explanatory, I'm sure. I'm sure no one here is struggling with the concept of a blogger. You can see here that we have an active blog. You see here, I try to put some really cool things in there. There's Dave Chappelle making a funny face, and we had the test flight, and just we've got we have a lot of fun with our blog posts. But the big thing that my interest level in for blogging is that as our website continues to grow, I think there's room to have truly ambitious, journalistic quality bloggers, people who are looking to address the reality of the digital age, posing questions about, like we just talked about, representation of minorities in powerful tech companies in Silicon Valley, or questions of how Western comic books and comic strips are thriving globally. Like, why is Iron Man, when it comes out as a feature film, doing so well in India and China? They have no cultural relationship to Iron Man, and yet Marvel superheroes do very well around the world. Why is that? Or how do you make money at webcomics? That's a really basic one. How do you make money at webcomics? Who's making money at webcomics? We think that there is a huge opportunity if you are serious about trying to create a name for yourself, or if you're someone who truly has that journalistic bug where you think questions like what I just said, and you're curious enough to try to answer them. If that's you, then I want to talk to you. Bloggers have gone on to amazing careers, whether it's as screenwriters, as comic book producers, as video game architects, TV personalities. There's no reason that Saturday AM's blog and that my footprint's DNA in terms of how we operate cannot produce the next great blogger. We have some plans for it. We're looking for ambitious individuals, people who have the intelligence of being able to properly understand grammar and understand how to structure an actual blog post. But if that's you, if you're looking to really try to do some radical stuff, you can try to get on with Time, you can try to get on with BuzzFeed, but I'm telling you right now that we have ambition and we're looking for that next talent. If we can discover artists of the caliber of Alvaro Sanchez Byrne and Philippa Borman and Leonardo Massip and Frederick Ward and so on, then we can discover the next Maureen Dowd, the next Andrew Sullivan, the next Thomas Friedman. We can discover those individuals amongst you. So if you'd like to be a blogger, wait until the end of this conversation and we'll have a post where you can submit your information so that we can contact you. The next position that matters is designer. Again, if you are trying to get a job as a graphic designer, get a job as a UI designer, which is user interface for a video game company or a web company, or just a traditional print company. If you're just in a small town, you're like, hey, I want to work for the newspaper because I love print and design, and I know that newspaper is going to always at least be in business to some degree, then you should really consider us. While I'm amazed that we don't get the press that I feel like we deserve, I'm equally amazed that we don't get credit for our design. Between Wally Wynn, who is our main designer for our website and our magazine, and then the design efforts that we've had for Jason Raphael, we have really, I think, an amazing job of producing a preeminent design that captures people's imagination around the world for what webcomics can be, what they can actually look like. And so if you want to bring your visions to the table, remember, we're engaged in print, we're engaged in web, and we're engaged in digital publications. And we have more stuff coming. So if you are a designer, and want to be a designer in those areas, in this case, maybe you don't have to have, as long as you've got access to Adobe Photoshop or InDesign or even other programs, but you're like, I've got the will. I've got some of the means, I've got the will. Please, I want to get involved. I'll start at the bottom, then contact us. I want to get the next great designer. What would Apple Computer be without Johnny Ive? And now Mark Newsom. We take design very, very, very seriously. It was one of the first mantras I laid down to the guys when I first brought them in, like Wally and White and the rest of them. We're looking for radical ideas. So contact us. The position we're looking for is editorial. And let me be very clear, editorial here is not the normal editorial. I mean, yes, you need to know how to copy edit something. You need to know how to copy, copy proof and check words, make sure that the conversation is accurate, make sure that the words are spelled correctly, make sure the grammar makes sense. But we envision editorial being so much more. We envision it being a true partner to the creator, helping them with story ideas, developing their part of their business, working to enable that creator to focus on the thing that should be the most important thing for that creator, which is creating their comic and getting their vision out, entertaining their fans. This is such a business position, editorial. If you've ever wanted to work at Sony PlayStation or work at Nintendo or work at Marvel Entertainment, Warner Brothers, who chose DC Comics, this is most likely the area you would work in. Marketing or editorial, what they call suits, is what they call, what most people call people who are engaged in business. But let me tell you something. Business is pretty damn fun. That's what I was doing. It's pretty damn fun. You get to meet some pretty amazing people. You get to work on some pretty amazing things. And you get to make happen the things that entertain millions of people. It's a big deal. Editorial. So we take it very seriously. I hope that you guys, if you have any ambition with level whatsoever, if you truly want to get involved in this, if you want to play a role in the business side of things, contact us. That's what editorial will be. I can tell you that you will need to have some truly fantastic organizational skills. You need to have great comprehension. You need to act professional. But that's the key element that you'll need to have, though, is ambition, the desire to really want to manage the business of a creative opportunity, one of our franchise titles like Apple Black or Saigami. And no, you would not start off managing Apple Black or Saigami. So those are the first three positions. I'm going to check to see if we have any questions here on Facebook, and then I'll get to the last three volunteer positions, and then we'll move on to more parts of what I want to talk about today. Again, if you've got questions, you can facilitate those questions via Facebook, either our personal fan page, which is www.facebook.com/ all one word, or you could do so via some of the other methods like our private group, which is our pilot MANGA group. That's only got 306 members as of today, and more than likely, if you applied for it, you wouldn't get in right this moment. But active in that group, drop a question there. You certainly can. We do have some. Let me address those. So Kamani Jackson asked, could we get a hint as to what you were looking for in the ad for the MANGA Pilot March contest? I don't know why I read these things before I read them aloud before I actually read them myself. But Kamani, that question is more in line with what we'll be talking about a little bit later. So I'm going to leave that question blank for now, but we will address that. Let me check the standard Facebook group and just see our Facebook fan page and see if there's any questions there, and then I'll go on with more volunteer positions. Okay. All right. Looks like that is it. So then we're gonna let me check the other area, and then we'll get back going here. Let's see. All right, so there's no questions there, so we will get back into it then. So let's address, let's get back into it here with the positions that we have. So the remaining three positions, the next is letterer. And this is really important. This is, you know, if you are someone who's not skilled at art and is not per se a writer, this is a major position because this gives you the opportunity to actually show your artistic skills similar to the designer or a designer. Lettering is an art that I'm actually stunned that more people don't embrace this. This is huge. This is a huge thing. And so what I'll say without getting into a strategy of what we're going to do, we are, if you are creative, but you know that you're not maybe the best artist, you're not a great writer, this is an area where you can actively get involved with the comic book production, actually get involved in getting your name and your contribution visibly available for people to see in every single issue of Saturday AM or Saturday Plus or WebX. We are definitely looking for this position. In fact, I would say that of all the positions here, this is one of the most important. We have big plans for it. And so I would say if you have any of this creativity, any of this sort of drive, this is it. Contact us for that, and we will certainly let you know as soon as we can about what this position entails. Next to last is social media marketer. And again, I don't want to go into too many details here with it, other than to say that this is an excellent opportunity for someone, again, who is attracted to the business. And one thing I'll say that I often say to our group is that, I feel that one of the reasons webcomics do not get the respect that they deserve is because so many people, so many of the creators involved in webcomics, because it's so easy to make a webcomic, fall into fanboy tactics. They get overly excited about things that really aren't that exciting. They get into conversations that are irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. They talk a lot about what they want to do without actually doing it. And when they finally do something, it is representative of just a bunch of kind of wish fulfillment of stuff that you already know. It's like their version of Naruto, or their version of Dragon Ball, or their version of Final Fantasy, or something another. That's fanboyism. What I've often said is there's nothing wrong with being a fanboy or fangirl, but you know what's really great is when you're a fan of the business. Be a fanboy of the comic book business. Be a fangirl of the comic book business. When you're that, no one questions your sincerity. No one questions your ability to articulate what matters. No one questions your ability to actually be successful. I had a conversation with a creator the other day, and I asked him, I said, how do you guys intend to make money? And he just kind of laughed. He's like, haha, I hadn't really thought about that. It's like, well, right there was the answer that is both fanboy and why the webcomic industry is the webcomic industry. Because people don't look at it for what actually is the reality. Even if content's free, if you're not focused on the consumer, if you're not focused on actually making it a success other than something that entertains you, then no one's going to take you seriously. Even 50 Shades of Grey started out as fan fiction. There's nothing wrong with being a fanboy or fangirl. E.L. James, created 50 Shades of Grey as fan fiction for her fangirl love of Twilight. The difference is that she was enough a fan. First of all, she was a businesswoman. She worked in entertainment, but she had enough intelligence, enough drive to say, you know what? I recognize people like this. I'm going to actually go back in, retrofit some things, make it original in many areas, and then package it and sell it as an actual book. By sending it out to distributors, seeing if anyone wants to publish the book. And people did. It sold 100 million copies, and now she's a legend. Think what you want to think about how good she is, how talented she is. She's a legend. Why? Because she wasn't just a fangirl. She was a fangirl of the business. So social media marketer, major opportunity for people who, if you are mature enough to recognize that you're not going to be the next Jim Lee or next Kishimoto, if you can accept that now, but you want to be involved in comics, you want to go to Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, you want to be able to go to Tokyo Game Show. If you really have that drive to say, look, I know I'm not going to make it as an artist, but damn it, I want to be in this industry, then this is what the volunteer program is all about. And social media marketer, like editorial, is pure business. This is recognizing and discovering the ability to communicate with people around the world, utilizing the various social media that exists to drive the relationship towards Saturday AM, Saturday Plus, Afternoon WebX, specific properties like Apple Black, new properties like Blacksmith or Islanders or Comet Man. Getting the word out about our webcomics like Spoon, Storybook, Wanted Dead or Dead, Rough House. Social media is such a massive reality right now for business that if you got in with us, you're not going to just decide to do social media and get a job at Pepsi. You're not even going to get an internship at Pepsi doing social media. But with us, you have a chance to actually do big things, actually establish real opportunities, pardon me, right off the bat. So if you like Twitter, if you like Facebook, if you like Tumblr, if you like Instagram, and we have more, then contact us. Contact us about the social media marketer position. We have very big plans for this. Big plans as we do with design, with blogging, big plans as we do with editorial, big plans as we do with letterer. This is a major position. If you've got the drive and you really have the desire, this is it. Last but not least is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Translator. We're looking for translators. We won't say what languages we are, but we'll say maybe one or two of them are obvious and then one or two of them are not. We know our business, we know our market very well. And so we need some translators. We have a specific way we want to do it. We have a specific idea in mind of how we would do translation. So again, this is for someone who recognizes the business opportunity and wants to get involved in comic books. With each one of these things, translation, social media marketing, letterer, editorial, designer, blogger, these are specific skills you would gain working with us, specific aspects of doing serious work that you will not get the experience of anywhere else, certainly not at the level that we would provide it to you at. That if nothing else occurs, you have one hell of a thing to put on your resume for that next job, for that next big real world paying job. You have one hell of a resume builder through Saturday AM in my footprint. On the other hand, if you knock it out the park, if you show us that you've got that level of ambition that is unequivocal, then as we grow, and you all who've been with us from the beginning know that we've grown significantly. As we continue to grow, then we'll be continuing to grow with individuals who've proven that they're indispensable. So these are the volunteer positions we're looking to fill. We're really excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. Again, if you have questions regarding this, let us know. But the key thing you want to do, if you're interested, is you're going to want to send an email to info@saturday-am.com and put in the subject line volunteer 2015. You do that, and we will contact you within the week, and we'll be setting up a very big meeting coming soon for volunteers across all the different spectrum before we break out into individual sections for that conversation to really talk about the specifics of what we want to do. I can't tell you how excited I am about the volunteer program. People ask, are we excited when we discover a talent like Leonardo Massip or Frederick Ward or Philippa Borman? And I say, absolutely. Because I know that no other website has these guys. We found them. But when I think about what makes me excited going forward, this is it. Creating a staff of ambitious, exciting, completely diverse in their thinking and makeup, their perspectives, team of staff volunteers. This is, if we can pull this off, this will be huge. Not just for us, but for you as well. So I hope you guys will check that out, get in touch with us regarding that. And that is kind of speaks to that element of it. Now, again, I'm going to check and see if there's any questions, and then we'll move on. The next thing I wanted to talk about was pilot manga and the test flight rules. So if you have questions about pilot manga and test flight rules, please send them now, because this is going to be time to address them. And we got about 30 more minutes. I don't want to spend too long with this meeting. This was meant to be very brief. kind of running through the specific things that we're working on. So again, if you've got questions, please feel free to send them. I'm going to take a minor break here while I just get some water for my throat. So bear with me for just a moment. Take that time to submit some questions, and we will be back shortly. Okay, all right. So we are back. Thanks everyone for your patience. I had to take a break and get my throat, parch my throat a little bit. Let's see here. Got the wrong window up there. I'm using my sister's laptop here. Whoops. My sister's laptop, just so I can, that's great. There we go. All right. So, see, we've got a couple of questions here in the group. So let me address those. And then, like I said, we'll be talking about the relationship with Pilot Manga and any questions related to Pilot Manga for the group, as well as the new test flight, which is our amateur competition. As far as volunteers go, we did have a question from Chang Zhong, who, by the way, was runner-up in our last test flight, so perfect sort of timing. And Chang asked, can someone try one of the positions without the ambition you're talking about? This is volunteer work, and maybe others or me are interested and want to try it out to see if we fit in it or not, even if we miss some mark you're talking about and have not had much experience in it. So that's an excellent question. Let me address real quickly that. So I think first things first is that, obviously we're not looking for professionals, or we can't afford professionals. So the reality is that this is not a scenario where you have to have loads of experience. So please don't let me give you that impression. I think I said earlier that, you know, if you want to be a designer, for example, well, you kind of have to at least have a computer, internet access, and some design software. If you don't, we can't really work with you to be a designer. It doesn't matter if you're a world-class designer or if you literally have played around with it one time. You have to have those elements. So that's what I mean about having a sense of ambition. You know, it's like you have to at least have got enough ambition to have entered into it to some level. If you, for example, want to do social media marketing, it's really not a place to say, well, I want to try social media marketing, and you've never used Twitter, you've never used Facebook. We can't, like that, you know, like this isn't a class to teach you. This is a true sort of internship or volunteer program where we guide you, we assist you, but you are engaged in the work yourself and learning. So that's kind of I think the key element there. So, you know, so that was pretty much what I would say in regards to that, is that no one's expecting you to have major experience, but you have to have some element of ambition. And I think to say, well, what if I have no ambition? That's not a reality that we can endorse. On the other hand, in relationship to, you know, the notion, like you said, Chang, what about me if I'm interested? Well, you know, again, one of the realities of what we want to address is we want to get out of this system or get out of this mode of having creators doing extra work. You know, your objective really should be trying to entertain your fans, trying to get, you know, as many pages out as you can, so that you can participate in the full experience of Saturday AM. You know, we now produce Saturday Tanks, which we'll talk about in a moment, but, you know, that should be what every creator is trying to do. And so, again, we do things differently than other websites. You know, other websites don't care, you know, what you produce or how often you produce it. You might get a little email suggesting, hey, you know, we haven't heard from you in a while. But that's really, you know, that's not at all the Saturday AM or My Footprint mentality. We take a very different approach to these things. And so if you're a creator for us, the reality is that you're creating. You're not, you know, I don't expect you to try to be a business person or do those other things. And if we see you're trying to do those things and your work suffers, well, then, you know, that's not great either. So, you know, really the focus should be on trying to do what you need to do to survive, number one, and then likewise working on your comic book. These positions are really for people who know they're not equipped for the other things, but want to do this thing. So that's kind of the short answer. I mean, we never say never, and we certainly would engage with creators who want to get involved at that level. But ideally, we'd like to get people who are specifically interested in those positions, willing to give as much time as they can to those positions, and have some level of ambition so that we know that they actually can hit the ground running and want to be successful at it versus, not. And then we have to try to lead them by the hand. That's not really the position we're in or set up to do. So with that being said, let's talk about Pilot Manga. You can see I'm on the page here for Pilot Manga, and we had a question earlier from some people, Roberto Vidal and Kamani Jackson, about the Pilot Manga. So let us talk about Pilot Manga. As I indicated before, Pilot Manga is a dedicated group. It is only through Saturday AM. So when you see that logo with the familiar Saturday AM foot with the AM in the middle of it, when you see that, you know that is Pilot Manga. That's us. The group is a private group on Facebook. We do post some things via our forum and our website, but we've found that despite the plans we have for that, Facebook right now at least is just the best option for us. It's the easiest. But we do still recognize that there are people who want to be a part of Pilot Manga who either don't have access to Facebook in a consistent way or are too young for Facebook's age limit. So we want to try to open Pilot Manga up to as many people as possible. What won't change what Pilot Manga is that we screen every single member that comes into the group. So, and to belong in the group or last in the group, you do need to follow certain rules. So, we have days where you can upload content. We do not allow you to upload content on other days. And of course, we enforce that rule very heavily. We have ejected people because of their not ability to follow those rules. We've ejected people who get in the group and are disruptive. We've ejected people from the group who post things that are, we have a rule within Saturday AM, the sort of content that we publish. We certainly don't, even if it's a private group, we certainly don't allow you to post content that goes above or past that sort of content. you know, we're not trying to be conservative about it, but it's just a question of respect for the vast majority of people in the group. You know, we believe we have a community, and when you have a community, you have to behave in the interest of the community. And so with that being said, you know, we have about over 1,000 people who've tried to get in the group. Right now, we only have 306 members in the group. We have no limit for the group. We could have 5,000 members one day, but we will always screen the members. So I do want to address two things about getting into Pilot Manga. Number one is that if you're asking to join Pilot Manga from Facebook, make your page available for us to see fully. Like, I mean, you know, don't have your page blocked where we can't see what you post and things of that nature. Because honestly, that's not, you know, we're not, if we don't know you are an artist or have any sort of interest in comic books and so forth, then more than likely we have to believe you're just spam. You're just one of those spam bots that will then get onto the site, get onto our group, and then start loading up the timeline with things like, you know, check out my porn videos and this, that, and the other. You know, we don't want to deal with that. So, or things that potentially could be viruses if you click on the wrong link. So we don't want, you know, our community engaged in that stuff. We don't want our community getting in trouble with that stuff. So, you know, if you're trying to get in our group, you need to open up your profile so that we can see that you are indeed the sort of person that we think should be in the group. That doesn't mean you need to have any sort of political views. It doesn't mean you need to have any sort of religious beliefs. It just means that you need to demonstrate a respect and an engagement with the creative process in terms of art, writing, comic books, manga, anime, so on and so forth. If you don't have that, or if all you have is just, you know, likes of anime product, but you don't actually have anything that you're doing, then we can't admit you, because we're not a fan club. This is not a fan club group. This is not a group for spam. This is not a group for you trying to get a job. This is a group for people who are engaged with trying to become better creators or sharing information to each other so they can improve their chances of making a living, whether it's, you know, sharing information about what you should charge for commissions, sharing information about what conventions to go to, sharing information about how to structure your stories. This is meant to be a collaborative, cooperative group community. This is not a place where you talk about whether Naruto is more powerful than so and so, or you know, ooh, choose this curse's power and I'll put it in my manga. That's not what this group is about. And so again, if you take the group seriously, if you are a serious individual for manga and webcomics, this is the group for you. Apply for it, and once we screen you, you'll be admitted. But if you're trying to be admitted in, make sure you've at least opened your site up so we can look at it. Conversely, if you're in the group, the first thing you should do is look at the rules. They're pinned to the top of the page. Let me say that there's nothing, and this is just me being crotchety and old, but there's nothing more frustrating than getting notes from individuals who literally don't look at any of the stuff that, it's like this is something I think is very indicative of the younger generation. But the idea that you're too busy to actually do the work yourself and research for the rules, research for questions, research for those things, you're just gonna ask, like, you know, literally we've posted stuff, and in the comments thread is, I don't understand. Now, when does this contest due? And it's like, it's right there in the note above. You just clicked and read it. So that does not hold you in good esteem. And I fear for our future generation, because if you get a job and you're doing stuff like that in a professional environment, you know, what we've always known in professional circles is that marks you. That marks you as being someone who's either lazy or not smart. And if that marks you, then that really limits your ability for growth, for promotions, for things of that nature. So when you join the group, like I said, be engaged with the community. Ask your fellow community members things, but but try to do the work though. You know, try to demonstrate, try to present yourself in the best possible way. Don't get a reputation for being someone who literally doesn't do anything, or just is trying to exploit the group to promote your comic. Don't be that person. So those are the two things I did want to say at the start. Now, we'll talk about Test Flight here in a minute. Test Flight, of course, is our monthly competition. You can see here we had our last winner reveal last week. It was very successful. We had quite a few people watching it. Quite a few people watched it after the fact. We do those live every time. So the next contest is in March. I believe it's March 10th is the final day for submissions at 11:59 p.m. And basically, we set up these rules, and we have these rules where you have to produce the right type of content for the rules, and then you have a chance to have your work critiqued on the site. And then if we choose a winner, we'll work with you to develop a pilot chapter that we will publish inside of Saturday Plus, and then from there you have a chance to, you know, become a regular creator, make money, you know, have your brand become a major thing, hopefully. And so we're really excited about that. Every creator, by the way, owns their own property. So if you enter test flight, every creator owns their own property. Do not think you don't own your property. You do own your property. Obviously, if we, you know, if we help you with your property and take it in directions that are completely different from that, then that may change some of the ownership. But otherwise than that, you own your own property. And you can talk to several Saturday AM creators who've been in the group, who are no longer in the group, and no one's going to tell you they don't own their property. Nobody. Not Mikhail Dingle, not Mario Savovsky. No one's going to say, well, oh yeah, those guys work with me, but I don't own my property anymore. They try to screw me. No one's going to say that. So you enter in the group, you own your own property, and that's the key thing for how we're structured. So that being said, let's get to some of the questions here regarding the test flight. Let's see here again. Kamani Jackson has, let's see here. Kamani Jackson asks, can we give a hint as to what we're looking for in the ad for the manga pilot March contest? So let me just actually pull up the contest rules here so that you guys can see what we're talking about. All right. So this is the post where the rules are. You can see here we got this beautiful piece of artwork from Oscar. He's the artist behind Daryl Bastion's series that won called Remedium Plus. We will be announcing some things with Remedium Plus here very soon. In fact, you can read this entire entry inside of issue 22 of Saturday AM, which comes out, I believe, in the next 24 to 32 hours or 48 hours. So, so you will be able to actually see this whole story from the submission. It was that good. The March test rules are really simple. First of all, we're asking for a diverse lead protagonist. For February, we asked for 3 genres. We asked for comedy, horror, and sports. We got 1 semi-sports, we got a couple of horror, and we got 1 just extremely funny comedic. One was our runner-up, AM Club by Chang Chung. And our winner, of course, was Remedium Plus, as we talked about, which was kind of a shonen horror sort of thing. The point is that was the best test flight we've had in some time, specifically because it forced the fan base to actually create something unique. It forced our creators to create something unique. And we really love that. We get some amazing ideas, but the reality is that, again, we get so many, Final Fantasy, Dragon Ball, Naruto sort of concepts that it just gets very annoying. And it gets very difficult to judge them honestly because, we've seen the same story over and over again. So with this one, you can see here, we're asking for a diverse lead protagonist. It can be female. It can be someone from, has to be another, if it's not female, there needs to be someone, a male who's another nationality other than Japanese or if you're not going to let embody a different lead character, just because we want to see the story that you come up with that. We think that again, our entire status quo is a notion look and one feel. And I'm sorry to say that in Japan, I feel like that's exactly what it is. It's the same sort of emo, loudmouth characters, and with no diversity in their racial makeup. And I think that's harmful, and I don't think it's very good. I also think it's lazy of the creators. And so so we want to challenge that concept. And so there's nothing lazier though than not being Japanese, not being from Japan, and creating concepts and characters who don't even look like yourself, who look like the same old status quo. There's something lazy about that. And so we want to really challenge our creators to try new ideas, and we think this is going to be another great contest. So other submission points here is that you have to do a 10-page story with the beginning, middle, and end. So I can't recall who that was that asked. Someone asked the question. I think it was Muhammad Lowe, but he asked, and again, this is one of those kind of questions that he obviously didn't read this. He said, does this 10-page story have to be from the 30 or 40-page, chapter 1 he's doing? And again, it states here, it has to be, it has to be a 10-page story with beginning, middle, and end. So, how it's going to be part of his bigger story, if it has a beginning, a middle, and end, is beyond me. But the question is answered right here. If you don't understand it, you're not trying to understand it, or you're not really reading it. We want to cover for your volume 1. So assume you have a volume 1, like Apple Black volume 1 that we just published, or Saigami volume 1, which you're about to publish. Assume you have that. If you do, let's see what the cover will look like. And I'm going to leave you to assume what we look for in that cover. An ad that features your series complete with a strong marketing phrase. So Kamani asked the question, he said, could we get a hint as to what you're looking for in the ad for the manga pilot March test flight contest? And again, I think this kind of says exactly what we're looking for here. We're looking for a banner ad or a full page ad that features your series, so something from your series, whether it's a logo or the character art or something, with a strong marketing phrase. It's like, I feel like if I have to tell you exactly what to say here, then you're not trying. So Kamani, you're a young man. I'm sure you are looking at an ad right now on some web page. Just look up an ad and there you go. And the last thing is we want you to conduct an interview with yourself, and we give you a list of questions. You choose 4 of them, and then you answer the questions, and then we read it. We want to see how you interact with how do you sell yourself, how do you sell your series, things like that. So so that is what we've got there. Let's see what else we have here. What are the questions we have? We have Roberto Vidal asked, for the next pilot submission, are we to deliver the documents to the email address the day of, or can we submit them before that time frame? And so Roberto, you can obviously submit them ahead of time. We have some creators in our group, or in our community, who they'll literally submit something the day the rules come out. I don't understand why or how, but they do it. I certainly don't recommend that. I think you should take your time and be focused and try to do the best job you can with the rules that we have. But yes, we can take them early. We can take them the day of. We can take them at 11:59 p.m. On March 10th. But that's it. And if you are, we had a creator, we had a young man last month, our last test flight in February, or a couple weeks ago, who I saw in the test flight in January, get his stuff in late, and we talked to him about what he needed to do, and then he still had the same issue. So it was like almost a month went by, and he made no correction on fixing the things he needed to fix so that he could actually submit his stuff on time. I don't know what to make of that, but that again is what I mean about just that does not put a good taste in my mouth about someone's professionalism or working with someone if they were to win a test flight. You should take this as seriously as you would take a job interview. It's like, this is your opportunity to show who and what you are about. And so to not does not cast you in the best light. So yes, you can submit it early. You can submit it the day of. You can submit it right at the minute that it finishes. But don't try to slip it in after the fact. And if you got questions ahead of time, that's why we're doing things like this. Ask, and we'll certainly answer them. But again, most of the questions are pretty straightforward, so it shouldn't be a big issue from there. So that is the test flight. That's the pilot manga test flight. We don't have any other questions that I can see here on Facebook. So regarding that, so again, test flights are an excellent opportunity to get a simulation for what stress and deadlines and editorial feel like for creating a property. It's a really good tool or experience for if you were to get a job at a Dark Horse, an Image, a Boom, an IDW, and so on. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to have a lot of similar elements to it, because this is what I went through. So, we're trying to simulate that and give people a real chance to feel, just to get a sense of what working professionally as a comic artist feels like. And hopefully, it really opens some people's eyes. It provides them a sense of strength in terms of their character, in terms of their confidence. This should not be something that you lament, and it shouldn't be something that you feel bad about. This should really be something that you recognize as being something very unique and very cool that you get to do and experience. Because again, you know, to experience it otherwise would mean you actually are working at one of these companies. And as we talk about, it's so difficult to get into one of these companies that, you know, this is really, for some people, the only way they'll get to experience it. And for others, this is the sort of thing that will give them that leg up if they do, when they do work for another company. So I can't recommend Pilot Manga and Test Flight enough. The group is a great community of creators. You know, it's like going to an anime convention and you like to do cosplay. When you go, when you see other people dressed and, you know, like yourself, and you can feel, you know, good that you're not the only person dressed up like that. There's, you know, that feels good. Hopefully, you know, again, if you participate in this, is something you can really enjoy and take advantage of. So that is Test Flight. I'm going to take one last break. We're going to address questions as it relates to our publishing schedule coming up with Saturday AM, Saturday Plus, and Afternoon WebEx, and Saturday Wars, and our Saturday Tanks. So again, if you've got some more questions, please get them in. We'll address those here in the very last 20 minutes or so, and then that'll be it. So any final questions you got, please get them in now, because we'll be calling it time here in just a moment. So I'm gonna stop the presentation there on that. All right, guys, we are back. We're heading to our final conversation. So give me a moment here. I'm gonna upload this, and we will get back to it. Get you guys set back onto the screen share. There we go. All right, share that, present to everybody, and we are back. Again, my name is Frederick Jones. I'm the founder of My Footprint Entertainment, the publisher of Saturday AM, Saturday Plus, Afternoon WebEx, and more. I want to take a moment and talk about Saturday Tanks. Now, if you have not checked out Apple Black Volume 1, then you are crazy. You are a crazy person. You are literally a crazy person. Because inside of Apple Black Volume 1 is the complete story of Apple Black, its first major story arc, several years in the making, but certainly accelerated under the exclusivity of Saturday AM. White Manga is literally a superstar. He is a phenomenal creator. I am so incredibly impressed watching him grow as an artist and grow as a young man. He is the real deal. People will be talking about him years from now. And this is a great book. If you have not checked it out, know that when you buy this book, you're supporting White Manga. So if you could not bring yourself to subscribe to us, which is crazy, I might add, then you really owe it to yourself to check out White Manga's Apple Black Volume 1, the very first Saturday Tank. You can see here that, you know, this book looks completely different than the normal webcomic that you would see. It's got this amazing artwork. It's got the Saturday AM branding and so forth on it. It has additional material, and it's designed to be sold at retail. We hope we'll be announcing retail distribution for this so that you can find it in your stores. Hopefully we'll be announcing that soon, within the next month or two. But this is an amazing opportunity, amazing experience that we've had with Saturday Tanks. And you can see here he's got 26 reviews. Look at that. 4.5 stars out of 5. You go, White. You go, White. I am extremely proud of White. I'm extremely proud of our creators. Because again, I don't care what anybody says. I don't see other webcomic groups producing the sort of quality that we do. And so next up is our next Saturday Tank. And you can see here again, it continues along with that awesome look and feel of a Saturday Tank. And this is going to be Saigami Volume 1. If you are reading Saturday AM and you say to yourself, man, you know, this is some of the best looking art out there in the webcomic world. Well, you are completely right, because not only is White a superstar, but Andrea Voros is one of the absolute most manga looking creators I've seen. Her work is absolutely phenomenal. You can look at White and Andrea's work and you could not tell that they're not Japanese, and neither are Japanese. White is from Nigeria and Andrea is from Hungary. Now, you can see here that we've got the paperback and the Kindle version for Saigami not listed. We will be listing that very soon. We've been extremely busy, but we are closing everything, closing of the stuff we need to close down so we can get this book out. We're hopefully going to have it available for people in early March. It's later than we had originally intended by about 2 weeks, but them the breaks. It's just very difficult to try to get all these things done that we're doing given our small team size, hence why we need more volunteers. But Apple Black Volume 1 Freedom Days, the first Saturday Tank we've ever published, is $12.99 for the paperback version or $9.99 for the Kindle version. You can buy it just by clicking the Buy Now button. As you saw, it'll take you directly to Amazon.com. Same thing will happen with Saigami, except I can promise you 2 things. One, the cost of the book will be slightly cheaper. And 2, there will be a second version of the book that will be completely in Hungarian. So if you are one of Andrea's many fans from Hungary, you will have a chance to buy this book in Hungarian and buy this book in English. And we're so extremely proud of Andrea, and we intend to produce a really beautiful collection for her. And so this is what Saturday AM is all about. This is what My Footprint's all about. So I did want to take a moment and address that. And after Saigami comes out, the next big Saturday Tank is Comatose by Wally Wynn. And if you are a fan of indie comics, if you are a fan of that very cool comic style that just really kind of plays with form and structure, you got to check out Wally Wynn's stuff. You can see, again, the design of our web pages. Most of them come from Wally, not all, but most come from Wally. And if you love the look of our website and you love Wally's incredible artwork, then you really owe it to yourself to get ready for the Comatose Volume 1 book, and that'll be coming soon. All right. So we got some more questions in, but let's address quickly what's next for Saturday AM. What is next for Saturday AM? And the thing that's next for Saturday AM is our schedule. So this year we debuted something that we call our premium subscription. And what is our premium subscription? Our premium subscription is $25. So for $5, you get 20 issues of Saturday AM. Same as last year. 20 issues of Apple Black, Saigami. Now, Apple Black, Saigami might not appear in every issue, but 20 issues of the magazine that brings you Apple Black, Saigami, Bully Eater, Comatose. We will have titles that graduate from Saturday Plus and go into Saturday AM. We're not ready to announce those yet, but we also have some titles that are coming brand new from the beginning directly into Saturday AM. Unfortunately, I'm not ready to announce those yet either, but we got some new creators from all over the world who are amazing that, trust me, you will be blown away when you see their contributions to Saturday AM. $5 gets you 20 issues of that. $5 does not get you 20 issues of any damn thing nowadays. Certainly not of traditional comic books. If I pull up image.com right now and look at their subscription page, Saga, which is an amazing comic book they produce, is like $40-some, or 34 or $40-some for a subscription. And that's 12 issues. Maybe. I don't even know if it's 12 issues. We're 20 issues. $5. Digital. You own it. Once it comes to your mailbox, you got it. Your email box, I mean. $25 though is different. It gets you Saturday Plus early access. So now you've got 40 issues of original manga webcomic content that you cannot find anywhere else. You will not find future issues of Saturday Plus anywhere else. You will not find Saturday M issues anywhere else. This is it. You also get 15% off of all Saturday tanks. So if you've been waiting to buy Apple Black Volume 1 that costs $13, 15% of that is right off the bat, you're knocking off of just about $1.50. So right off the bat, bam, you eliminate, I'm sorry, actually it's more than $1.50, it's about nearly $2. So you eliminate just $2 right off the top. So you're looking at almost, instead of $13, you're looking at about $11. Instead of $9.99, you're looking at nearly $7, which is the price of a normal manga from Viz digitally. For $25, you're going to get exclusive tutorials, interviews, special content from My Footprint creators. Now, we've been purposely vague about this, but let me say one really simple thing here. We get some great traffic on our YouTube channel, and our YouTube channel sucks. Like, our videos are not great. It's just me talking into a web camera. It doesn't have the slick production of PewDiePie and all those sort of things. We don't have those yet, but we're working to get those things. And as we continue to progress with our look and our feel and our professionalism and our experience and our capabilities in the video space, like anything else, it's going to cost us money, just like the magazine costs us money to produce. And so we're going to put a value to that. But when you subscribe at that $25 level, you get that access, whether that's a direct chat for just premium members, whether it's a specific tutorial that White Manga does specifically for premium members. We will be having that content available for premium members. We know who you are. We're going to have an awesome t-shirt just for our US or Canadian members. We're sorry, but paying for shipping is a real crazy thing. We start getting outside of the USA and Canada. We may entertain more stuff like that in the future, but for right now, it's just USA and Canada. We are closing the design on that soon. So for those of you who have subscribed to our premium model, first of all, thank you for doing it. Do not leave any concern whatsoever that we will not get you that shirt. We will. We've got a design we're coming up. We want to market the design of the shirt. So we're putting that out there, and it will be exclusive. It will be exclusive. You will not get that shirt from any other method except for becoming a premium subscriber. Now, when we relaunch our t-shirt line, by the way, they're going to cost like $25 a shirt. There's going to be some really high-end, high-res t-shirts, $25. So I don't think that's a bad deal. $25, 40 issues, communication with creators, exclusive content, 50% off all Saturday tanks, and an awesome t-shirt that you can only get through that would normally cost you $25. That's a hell of a deal. Again, that sounds like the best deal in comics, but it gets better because Saturday Wars is coming. And I'm proud to say that what you see there, the art you see right here, is by the artist Tiago Ribeiro, and Tiago will be the artist for Saturday Wars. Saturday Wars will be a series that will only be available to subscribers at the premium level. It will start up the summer. It will be serialized on a monthly basis. And at the end of the year, it will be collected into a book, to which case, if you are a $25 subscriber of Saturday AM, you'll be able to get that Saturday Tank at a discount. And that Saturday Tank will have exclusive content that will not be available for subscribers. But the reality for the subscribers is that no one will get to see Saturday Wars unless they're a subscriber at the premium level. So this is one of those great conundrums in the webcomics where you produce good stuff and you're supposed to assume that people won't buy it. You produce good stuff, and again, it's one of the criticisms I heard about us. You can't tell people to buy it because then you're trying too hard. Well, as a 41-year-old man, I don't give a damn about trying too hard. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You need to subscribe to this $25 level of our comic book. Why? Because we've got the best damn creators. We produce some of the best looking stuff. We have some of the most original characters. Look at that lineup there. Saigami, Sano from Apple Black, Asao from Bully Eater, Neil from Mass Multiplayer World of the Ghost, the big blue guys, Daedalus Bond from Mass Multiplayer. People have been dying to see Daedalus Bond show up in Mass Multiplayer World of the Ghost. We haven't been able to do it because we've had some difficulty getting the story out. But guess what? You will get to see him in this beautiful looking artwork, which is better than anything I had before. You'll get to see him and all the characters together in one gigantic Avengers type story. You cannot pass that. This is big stuff. You can't pass that up for $25. And the idea that $25 is too much money is complete BS. You know it and I know it. You know right now, if you're young, you're going to beg your mom to buy you a Destiny video game pack. Screw Destiny. Get Saturday Plus. I mean, get the Saturday AM subscription for $25. Get that T-shirt. Show your friends that you're cooler than they are. This is serious stuff. And I think it's ridiculous, the idea that I would not brag about this. You damn right I'll brag about this. This is great stuff. We're proud of what we do. Now, with that being said, when does all this stuff start up? Well, Saturday AM issue 21 is out now. It came out a couple of weeks ago. It'll come out every 2 weeks. And the next issue, issue number 22, has a beautiful cover by Andrea Voros. Features some great content in it, including the return of Comatose by Wally Wynn. You don't want to miss that. And that will also be just $1.99 for one issue. But why do that when you can subscribe for just $5 or $25? So that'll be coming out. And after that, Saturday Plus issue number 4 will come out. Now that has been delayed, and again, because we're producing so much content that we're really struggling to get the content out on time. We had a couple of issues that occurred here on the East Coast. We had a big snowstorm. So we've had things happen, but the reality is that we want to build that volunteer class so that we continue to get these comics out, because we've got great fans, we've got great readers, and these are great stories being told. So Islanders, Comet Man continue in Saturday Plus. You don't want to miss it. And Saturday Plus issue number 4 should be out within, again, the next 24 to 48 hours. And then this weekend coming up, we hope to have issue 5 of Saturday Plus, because just like Saturday AM, Saturday Plus comes out every 2 weeks. So traditionally, the way it should work is Saturday Plus comes out 1 week, and then the next Saturday is Saturday AM. And back and forth until they each hit a breaking point where we take a vacation. So Saturday AM, after every 5 issues, Saturday AM takes a break. So after the 26th issue, Saturday AM will take a break. Or 25th issue, I mean, Saturday AM takes a break. It'll be off for an issue, meaning it'll be off for about a month, and it'll return with the 26th issue. Saturday Plus operates every 4 issues. So because the numbering started in 2014, issue 4 will be the second issue, issue 5, issue 6, and then at issue 6 we'll take a break and come back for issue 7 about a month later. So we're really excited about both of these series. And Saturday Plus has got some big things coming, whereas Saturday AM has some really big creators coming into the mix, big interviews and big creators who are producing exclusive content for us. Saturday Plus, these are creators who are specifically from, they're specifically from our existing pilot manga contest. So Islanders by Leonardo Massip, Comet Man by Frederick Ward. I can officially announce today that coming up next will be Explosion Joe by Allende Hall. And after that will be Blacksmith by Alvaro Sanchez Byrne. Watch those two. They're going to be hot. And then after that, we've got more manga coming, and we hope to be announcing AM Club by Chang Chung, and we're hoping to wrap final information on Remedium Plus. But again, we've got lots of other manga that you haven't heard of that are part of Pilot Manga. These are either runners-up or honorable mentions that we're working to help them develop their story and bring it into the mix. So we've got a lot of things happening under the hood, and I can promise you big-time creators coming through the mix, producing some really amazing content. The future WebEx or Saturday AM titles, you can't go wrong with that. Speaking of WebEx and rounding off the conversation with Afternoon WebEx, that is going to be relaunching tomorrow. So as I indicated before, Afternoon WebEx will have a very interesting publication round. What will happen is that on Mondays at 1 p.m., Omniconscience will update. Omniconscience is the new manga spin-off of Comatose by Wally Wynn. On Tuesdays will be the brand new manga, Z Forever. On Wednesdays will be Rough House by Jordan Cook, a very popular series. And after that, we then have Thursdays Storybook by Andrew Sterling. Very fun, one of our original titles. So we're really proud to have Andrew Sterling continuing with us. A great manga, very adventurous, fantastic character. And then last is Fridays, you have Spoon by David Yoon. And Spoon, of course, is just one of those great kind of badass fun series. Can't go wrong with Spoon. And again, here you can see the level of diversity that we have. Not all these creators are still with us, but we've got some fantastic creators here in the mix. You can see their Storybook has 30 chapters. Rough House has 6 chapters. Spoon has actually over 28 chapters. Wanted Dead or Dead has 19 chapters. And Omniconscious is starting up. Expect to see changes to this page over time. I'm expecting a very fun set of comic books coming. Each comic this week will launch with some major content so you can really get into the story. And then you can look for those to update every week at the same time, 1 p.m. I can also exclusively announce that we'll be adding more titles to WebEx. So after 1 p.m., you then can expect to see a 2 p.m. launch of something we'll be calling Test Flight Showcase. So you can imagine these will be test flight series that we've discovered that we really enjoyed. We thought, hey, you know what, this is okay. Let's work with this title and in a different way than we will with Saturday Plus. Likewise, we'll be launching a new property called Saturday Syndicate, and these are titles that like Bully Eater and Saigami and so on, titles that had its exclusive content run last year aside of Saturday AM, and so they'll be launching like regular webcomics launch, where you start getting that content a couple of pages a week every week. It'll be slow, but you will get a chance to start reading more of the content that you love for free in a different context. So imagine it's kind of like when you have a TV show that you love watching, and then those old episodes start getting syndicated, and so they start coming on at different times on regular TV on other TV channels, but it's all reruns. It's not the new stuff, and that's exactly what this will be. And again, we have other original creators coming into the mix, so we're really excited about where we're going with Afternoon WebEx. You should be able to enjoy our website Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday. and hopefully on Sundays as well, because we have some creators coming back into the mix, we believe. So that's everything we got going on with Saturday M, Saturday Plus, Afternoon WebEx, and Saturday Wars. Expect Saturday Wars to launch in the summer, and expect to see a trailer for Saturday Wars soon. So if you've not seen that amazing artwork by Tiago, first of all, that's ridiculous. Pay $1.99 and get the damn comic, because he's got original artwork of Saturday Wars the issue. So if you haven't seen it, it's shame on you. But all you need to do is look at that cover. All you need to do is look at that cover of Saturday AM, see the artwork by Tiago of Saturday AM characters, and know that this Saturday Wars story will be mind-blowing. So the best art we've ever had, featuring all the core characters and characters you haven't seen in one big giant story. This is going to be awesome. No other webcomic group, no other webcomic collective, no other website that dedicates itself to webcomics is doing anything like this. And pardon my aggressiveness, but they can't do anything like this. This is going to be awesome. So that being said, let me now check out what we got here from the questions here. I'm sure we have a few questions in the mix. And again, if you don't have any questions, or if you didn't have any questions, this is going to be it in terms of asking them, because we're approaching the end of the of this conversation. So we have so Tiana Conyers had asked, were we going to restart the Kickstarter for Saturday Wars again this year? And the answer is no. So Trey and Tiana, the answer is no. We don't really intend to. I mean, Kickstarter sucked. I mean, we didn't do well with it. We've grown. We have, but even then, we had thousands of fans. We certainly had exposure to tens of thousands of fans, and so the idea that we didn't raise the money was frustrating, and it's a failure. It's a personal failure on my end that I take very seriously, and I just feel that that our efforts are best set when we do the things ourselves. So what you'll be seeing now with us, though, is more of an effort to do the right thing in terms of what we currently do. So like I said, we raised the price of our subscription. We added new content, though, that makes it completely worthwhile. Saturday Wars is going to be phenomenal. So it's $25, but you get a t-shirt, get all this other stuff. So it's like the best deal in comics. And so, but if we got $25 from more people, that would really give us a great opportunity to grow in other ways with the company. Second of all, we're going to be launching more merchandise. So we've got a line of Apple Black t-shirts, original Apple Black t-shirt designs we're going to be coming out with, and prints. We have Saigami as well with that, and then we'll be doing it with other series. We have Afternoon WebEx is going to have a program in place where you can access exclusive content from those guys by paying $1, $3, or $5 to $10 a month, and we're working on exactly what that's going to look and feel like. But we think that with the content those guys create and with the stuff that we're going to be giving to support those guys, we think that again, that's just another way to support those individuals, but also to help us improve our overall revenue picture so we can do big things. So, and we got some really big things planned. I mean, this is not the place to talk about them. We have some really big things planned. So let me just say that, yeah, I mean, we don't feel like we need Kickstarter at this point. We certainly would love it, and we certainly love to make the money that Exploding Kittens made, but the reality is that, we didn't do very well at the first time, and we felt like we need to do a lot of work if we do it again, to make sure that we don't fall into that same boat. We don't want to fall in that same boat again. Let's see here. So Kinshaw Michaud asked a question. He says, I know there are Saturday tanks, but are there any news on possible Saturday Toys action figures line? And I mean, again, I mean, my background as an executive in the video game industry is I worked on toys, I worked on trading card games, I worked on video games, I worked on everything. So, so the short answer is, I mean, of course we're thinking about it, but I wouldn't tell you if we had a deal on the table for that at this stage of the game, because it's not an appropriate thing to talk about, if you're in negotiations with stuff like that. But suffice to say that, I mean, our plans are big. So, we came out with Saturday Tanks, and no one thought we'd come out with Saturday Tanks. So stay tuned is all I can say on that. Chang Chong asks, are the creators still writing or drawing in Saturday Wars? Yes. So even though Tiago will be the main artist and will be drawing the vast majority of the book, there will be moments where you'll see some of the other creators pop in. We don't want to spoil how that happens, but it's going to be very cool. So yeah, we're like, again, we're really excited because I don't think anyone else can do this. They're not doing it the way that, at least that we would do it, and so we're really proud of that. Let's see here. And Chang, I did see your comment about ambition from earlier about people who love manga but can't draw, don't know, the place in the world yet. And again, I mean, like I said before, I mean, you have to have some level of ambition. I mean, I reject the notion that you don't have any ambition. I certainly reject the idea that if you have no ambition, it's my job to give you ambition. It's not my job to give you ambition, and more importantly, I can't give you ambition. So, that kind of answers that point. Um, so that's pretty much it for tonight. I mean, those are all the major topics that I wanted to address. Again, we have so many big things planned, and we're really excited about the stuff that we have coming up with the titles, the test flight, which has been phenomenal, the subscription, which we think is going to be really fun and exciting for people. It's going to be a great value, just like last year's was, and the volunteer program, of which I am beside myself with excitement on. I can't imagine a cooler situation right now than putting together a team. The way that I put together a team of creators, putting together a team of staff that can actually do big stuff on the same level as someone working for Sony or working for Microsoft, but being, again, people who are amateurs. If we could pull it off, that would be such an amazing accomplishment. It would say something so significant about the way that the world is right now, to where it's not about how skilled you are, how ambitious you are, it's about who you know. We can change that if we get the right people in and we can build the right sort of energy that we've built with our creative team within Saturday AM and Pilot Manga. So again, I implore you, if it's not you, but you know someone who does fit the bill of being a volunteer, tell them about us. There'll be some ads in the next couple of issues and so forth and on the website. Tell them about us and get them involved. So I think that's going to be about it, guys. I don't see any other questions at this point. I'll do one more refresh, but I don't see any other questions. And I think, again, where we are right now, I just don't see anything else that we've got there. So, so again, if you are interested in being a volunteer, contact us at info@saturday-am.com and put the subject line "Volunteer 2015." So if that's you, then please feel free to do that. And again, we've got significant plans this year, and we're so excited that we've got the sort of creators and the sort of fans that we've got. I think that's just that's awesome. So, all right, well, I think that's pretty much it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this. We'll say to the Webcomic Union. I'm surprised there were no questions about about other companies like Ink Blazers and things like that, but because that was a state of the Webcomic Union. But again, I can say that I look at what we've accomplished last year. I look at what our business plans are for this year, for last year, and for this year, and I just continue to remain extremely optimistic about what we're doing. I feel like we've been validated time and time again. An article just came out today about Dark Horse Comics, where they're one of the number one. They're in the top 5 of American comic book publishers in the United States, and they are taking 3 of their comics that they publish and they're moving them to digital only. And I just thought to myself, how amazing that is, that they're taking that and moving it to digital only. It's like, the more and more I look at what we're doing and how we're doing it, I feel as if, we're being validated by the industry. The question, of course, is, do we get the credit, and do we get the opportunity to take that model forward enough for us to actually grow and benefit from it? But nonetheless, I can't help but feel excited that we are generating the sort of, that we're proving that the model for ambitious, amateur, professional creators is upon us, and that the next Marvel Comics is going to come not from some top-down scenario, but from the bottom up. I'm so excited about that. The fact that we've got creators who can be the next Jim Lee, who come from Korea or come from, you know, Mexico, Hungary, Nigeria. That is such an amazing thing. I'm just so proud of that reality if we can pull it off. But the fact of the matter that we're having success today is just astonishing. So again, thank you. If you supported us, thank you so much for supporting us. If you've been a part of what we're doing, thank you. If you're just now checking us out, thank you. If you're a creator who wants to get involved, thank you for considering us. You know, nothing that we do is easy, and we're going to put you through the ringer. You're going to earn your place amongst Saturday AM if you actually are a creator for us. But if you do it, you're going to be part of one of the best damn families and creative communities in the whole world. And trust me on that. We have a hell of a team. We have a group of people who are committed to each other in ways that I've never seen before. So it's pretty amazing, and we got some big things coming. So stay tuned. That's it. Take care, guys.